Well, got another story I'd like to relate to you. We're sitting up here in the south end of Star Valley. Those mountains over there, that's the south end of the Salt River Range, and that swale down behind me here is a part of the Oregon Trail. It's the old Lander cutoff just before it enters Star Valley. Anyway, I've had quite a few bear encounters with grizzlies over the years, but I've only had one where the bear was really serious, and that occurred, I think it was back in '99, and three buddies and me were coming out of Hawk's Rest, and we decided to drop into Pacific Creek and go around by Ennis Lake, and that's right there at Two Ocean Pass. The trail divides, and you can go over Trail Creek and drop in over the Continental Divide and drop into North Fork of the Buffalo, or you can take a right, head west, and drop into Pacific Creek, and then you come back up onto a bench there and follow that a ways and go around the side of Ennis Lake. So that's what we were doing. I think we had 5 pack horses with us, and I was leading 2, and we got to Ennis Lake, and at the outlet of Ennis Lake is where Ennis Creek starts, comes right out of the lake, and it's got a big willow patch there that the trail goes across the willow patch, and we were coming down off the ridge into that creek bottom. It's pretty wide swale, open swale, sagebrushy and stuff. We were dropping down into that and looked across the canyon there, across the valley, and there was 2 guys with 2 pack horses coming down the other way, same trail heading towards us, and figured, well, whoever gets to the bottom first gets to cross that willow spot there, that willowy spot. And fortunately for us, they got there first. And when they, entered into them willows, I think I was only about 25 or 30 feet back from the edge of the willows, and just about ready to stop my horse when they, entered the willows. And so they had the right of way, and we were just hanging, and all of a sudden, all hell broke loose in those willows, and I knew immediately what it was because this bear was roaring, and these guys had horses, their pack horses were flying around in there, and it sounded like a tornado. And they come blasting out of there. Well, by then we'd already spun our horses around, or we're in the process of it, and they joined us, and we went right back up the hill the way we'd come down. It looked like a cavalry charge with everybody abreast. They just heading off, getting away from that bear. And she come out of them willows just a snapping, and pretty good sized grizz, maybe 450, 500 pound bear. And she ended up having 2 cubs with her. Didn't know that for a little bit until those cubs showed themselves. But we got back up on the hill up there, about 200-300 yards away, and we helped these guys redo their packs because some of their stuff had just about got tore loose, and we watched her, and she kept making false charges at us. And so them guys, they were from Montana. They were a couple of peace officers, and they were just taking a vacation, and so they headed on back up the trail the way we came in, and we made a detour and went down Ennis Creek following this ridge. And when we got down on the bottom, there's a big sage flat, and that bear had followed us down that creek, and I watched her with my binoculars for a while at about 400 yards. She was watching us, and she kept running out and charging us just short distances. Then she'd run back into the willows with her cubs. So we decided the more prudent part of valor would be to travel a few miles before we made camp. We were originally going to camp right there by the patrol cabin or somewhere near it in that area. And we rode another 4 miles over to Box Creek Meadow and camped over that way. But that's the only time a bear has ever charged me when she meant it. Well, after that, I got to thinking about what had happened, and I realized that that bear, you know, with all us guys, horses, and pack stock, I'm coming both ways, she never heard us. And she couldn't see us because them willows are about 6 feet tall and maybe 120 feet wide. And she was in there with that running water and the muffling of the willows. And I thought, you know, she couldn't hear us. So after that, I put a little sheep bell under my pack horse cinch, hung it from the cinch itself on a little ring there, and I had that for a lot of years and never had a grizzly problem again. And then not too many years ago, you know, I started recording with one of these cameras, and that bell was a little bit too loud and sharp for the camera to pick it right up. So I went to sleigh bells, you know, ordered some from the, you know, folks back in Amish folks back there. They make a real nice little string of bells, and they're not expensive, and mounted them on my pack saddle and had those since then. And I've run into a lot of bears, but I haven't had a charge since then. I think year before last or year before that, I saw 17 grizzly when I was packing in there. So there's lots of them out there. But I think if a person can give them a little warning like that, you know, that they'll get out of your road, and only a real bad bear won't. So I highly advise that. I noticed all the professional packers there and the Forest Service wilderness packers, they throw one of their night bells on the neck of one of their pack mules when they're going down the trail, and for the same reason. So anyway, that's another story.